Let's do talk now with exactly 15 minutes after 8. My guest seated, Dr. Joseph Kwabena Mambua Roxing, is a political scientist, and Moses Enim is MP for Atuabo constituency. We're doing the talk now. So good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Yeah.
So let me ask you, Honorable Enim, have you filed yet? I mean, are you going again?
Yes. I filed my nomination, and Wednesday I'll be going for vetting.
Oh, okay.
So we're so hopeful.
All right. But you're not going unopposed?
No, 3 people are contesting me.
Wow.
So
that's hard, isn't it?
Oh, that's the process. I keep saying that when the snake is killed and cooked, it's no longer called snake.
Hey.
It's called meat.
So
everybody want to come and enjoy the meat. When the snake is going about, everybody is scared of it. But when one master carries and kills it and cooks it, we don't call it snake again.
It's meat.
We call it meat.
Amazing. So you kill the snake?
Yes.
Well, we wish you well.
And everybody want to come and enjoy the meat. So they are welcome. We'll have a healthy competition, and I know the Lord God is on my side. I will definitely go through.
All right, we wish you well.
Thank you very
Doc, any ambitions? I mean, do you want to go to Parliament?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I think Parliament needs a lot of us to be there. And hopefully, I might be going to Bimbilla.
In 2016? You'll be standing in 2016.
Yeah.
Which constituency?
Bimbilla.
Bimbilla?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my hope.
All right. So do you know the number of people who are standing from the other side, the NPP side now?
The NPP side, I think the minority leader is there and he's unopposed.
The deputy minority.
Yeah, the deputy minority leader, rather. And he's unopposed.
That's going to be difficult because he's pretty loud.
No, I don't think so. He's loud in Parliament, but does he make sense in Parliament when he talks? No. Probably no.
Oh, that's your opinion. That's a hard one.
No. Because when you
below the belt.
The way you articulate is different.
Just below
the way you articulate is different from when you are making an impact. You know, like I'm reading from the minorities saying that Agric Bank has to, whether they like or not, they have to come up to Parliament before they raise those shares. I know we'll come to that, but you know, you have to actually go strictly to the Constitution sometimes to make sure what you say actually makes sense. You know, you don't. So
you think that he's loud in Parliament, but he's not making any impact in the constituency?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, well, I guess time will tell. But let's start off our conversation with this load shedding exercise that we're told.
That's a very tall order, you know.
You might be surprised. You might be surprised.
But hopefully you go unopposed on the NDC side.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. People are also interested in the seat.
Okay.
And I might have to just think that we'll go to primaries.
All right. We'll see what happens.
I'm very confident I will come through.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about something that is hitting all of us, that really over the weekend got a lot of celebrities talking. There were huge outcry on social media. The ongoing load shedding is likely to minimize in the coming days following the resumption of operations at the Atuabo gas processing plant. This is information that Joy News has gathered. The gas processing plant was shut down for routine maintenance works on April 20 this year, but it is back. And we're told that this will likely minimize the impact of the load shedding. And I would start with you, Honorable Enim. Sometimes when Atuabo is operational, we still don't see the difference. Are you hopeful that this will happen?
Well, I will be a bit skeptical, though we're hoping that this situation changes, and it changes to a situation of the best. For now, we are worse off. For now, if you read the 2015 budget, the finance minister even itemized the power outage as one reason that he cannot achieve his revenue outlay. So it's a very huge concern for Ghana. And Atuabo is a gas processing plant that is supposed to start production. Atuabo is supposed to reduce our cost of energy production by $500 million a year, and also serve this country LPG of about 75% of our needs. So if Atuabo comes on stream, what it's going to do is that it's going to provide gas to propel our energy capacity that we have, generational capacity that we have. Atuabo per se doesn't add generational capacity. It's providing gas to propel the generational capacity that we have. So if the generational capacity that we have doesn't commensurate our power needs, we will still have some power outages, though it may improve to some extent. What it means is that our generational capacity should be in full capacity as today, so that Atuabo can provide the gas to propel them. As to whether Atuabo can provide the gas to propel all our energy capacity is also another matter. But as I keep saying, I always want us also to be very concerned of what we've lost so far, so that we can work harder and get solution to this problem. But what we're seeing today, to me, from my perspective, we shouldn't have gotten to this far. This challenge shouldn't have come at all, and because we were at a point that the power outages were not like this. It is gotten to a point where everybody is really suffering and having the bad edge to it. So we shouldn't have gotten to this level, especially when we have come so far that we've had inflows from other sources that other government did not have. President Lawrence did not enjoy any oil economy in this country. Okay, apart from salt pond which was not on commercial quantity. But now we have. If you look at the 2015 budget, as of September, we were expecting $777 million inflow from oil. We ended up getting $780.067 million. That's as of September. I'm even told that the last left by GMPC was in September, so that amount will reflect in October. So we still have about 3 months load again to add on. The estimate made by the finance minister in the 2015 budget for petroleum inflow revenue, $1.2 billion. That is going to flow in. President Lawrence did not get some of this amount. President Kufuor did not get it. So with this additional inflow, I think that if we had managed our system well and managed our economy well and known that energy is the heartbeat of every economy, we would have done certain things.
Okay, so you still hold the view that we shouldn't have been here?
No, we shouldn't have been here. Because look, Atuabo, for instance, Atuabo per the plan, the timeline set out, were to have come on mainstream by 2010. If we had not abrogated that contract, this country, I believe that we should all be nationalistic. We should. That is why the other day I was advocating for an independent body to interface the transitional period, so that this one says this will not be an issue. Because at the end of the day, the Constitution says as much as you can, try and continue project that your predecessor might have.
Sure.
As much as you can. At Atuabo, we have fled that gas ever since. Atuabo would have come on stream by 2010. You look at the span of time that we fled that gas. So these are all self-infringed. And I believe that this should be a lesson curve for all of us.
Okay.
We should learn lesson from this. Any time at all you find yourself in such situation, you should learn lesson.
Okay.
So for me, I think that we shouldn't have come here. And I think the president and his team must live up to expectation.
Okay, let me move to Dr. Mamwarok Singh, and let me add this to the calls on the president to apologize for the comment that he made on the 1st of May during the Workers' Day celebration, which effectively was to say that those businesses who have not laid off people were smart because they were rather investing in the businesses rather than laying people off. Indeed, the minority, the opposition NPP, have called on the president to apologize. We also do know that the Chamber of Commerce, they're also not happy with the president's comments, boxing that with Atuabo gas coming back on stream and the effect that it will have?
Well, when you look at when you listen to what my colleague here was saying, it was like the problem was done during our time. If they had added a lot, or they had added a little bit of the energy that was required to run this country during their time, I think we would have had enough.
Yeah, but can we not move on from
we
there?
can move.
Sure.
We can move on. And he also talked about the oil proceeds. Yes, Rawlings' time there was no oil, but Rawlings never took shares in GNPC. But when Kufuor came, they took shares, and so don't let us go that way when you're talking about nationalistic things in terms of the Atuabo gas. The Atuabo gas project was, in fact, something that the NDC government wanted to bring about to relieve Ghana of the energy problem. My take on this goes to the institutions that are supposed to work very well and bring about the actualization of the solutions we are looking for. VRA, in my own view, VRA, Electricity Corporation, has not, and I'll repeat, has not lived up to expectations. And that's where I have my beef.
So what kind of expectations?
Expectations are that during the time of Atuabo was conceived, and I know they knew about it, and they knew when we were going to get gas coming from Atuabo. There were these plants, the T1, T2, and others that were supposed to be retrofitted from, I understand, from crude oil use to gas. And this should have been done before the completion of the Atuabo gas. And I believe this was not done. And I think this has impacted on the energy supply we have. Now, also going back to the Atuabo plant, it was just commissioned a few months ago. Is that not true? So if it was commissioned, I'm surprised that it's going through it has been shut down and going through
for maintenance.
For maintenance.
Yeah, but isn't that what we're supposed to do even with some of our equipments with ECG and water and all that?
Exactly. But you see, when you have engineers, they must be able to tell you that even if in 6 months we're going to go through a routine maintenance, there must be provisions. There must be provisions to cut down on the impact of that on the public. And I see Ghanaians, some of our engineers or some of the institutions are not very sensitive to this problem and causing a lot of havoc to the Ghanaian public and giving the president sleepless nights in terms of the way he thinks things would have been done. The president will say things today with the hope that they'll feed him with information, with the hope that things will improve in the next month. He goes out to make those statements, and when the time comes, those statements are not true.
So you're blaming managers of these facilities?
I'm blaming managers of these facilities that in order to put, if the president went to commission the Atuabo gas, they at that point in line, they knew when they had to go through a maintenance. So they should have made provisions for that and put in place measures to avert this kind of suffering we are having on the public. I went through a whole blackout last night. I'm not a happy person sitting here.
Yeah, but
because I didn't sleep well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that even with Atuabo coming back, we still are not feeling.
And we are not feeling. That's what I'm saying. That when will they end this thing? When will they end this thing?
You should be able to tell us.
No, I'm not working for VRA, neither am I working for Atuabo gas. But that is what I'm saying now, that they are not living up to expectation. And you remember when these things happened a few months ago, we were accusing our own intellect. And I'm talking about the capacity of our engineers in this country to get things right, at least for the first time. We've all been going to the same schools. I mean, we've all gone to abroad and all that. We've all studied and come back. What is there that we can get this thing right? Because the president comes in and he expects that his lieutenants here and there should be able to run the institutions. But Ghana has a deficit in this, I mean, so many areas.
So
and it is time that we put these things in place.
Couldn't it be that perhaps he doesn't have the right people around him?
I'm not talking about the ministers here. I'm talking about the ministers are political appointees. You know that.
Yeah, but they oversee a lot of the
I'm
things.
talking about the chief directors and the civil servants that are working under the minister. You know, they are not. I can say they are not up to the task, most of them. And that is why we are having these problems. Because if the energy, say we came in into 2009, there should have been a roadmap from the Ministry of Energy since that time that Ghana the population was growing and that we needed enough energy. And this should have been taken care of as at now. You see, you don't sit down till when things are running out before you start looking for alternatives. And this is my beef with the Atuabo gas, where the first day that they went and inaugurated it with the president, I'm sure they had a timetable for this maintenance. What were the measures they took to reduce the suffering that we are suffering now? What were the measures? So they knew they were going to they knew that they were going to shut it down at a particular point. What measures did they put in place?
Okay.
And that is my
let's quickly touch on, I'll come back to you, but let's quickly touch on the comments of the president and the sort of responses that have come.
I think people have taken it too political. You know, what he was just saying is that those companies that have not laid out or laid off workers are a bit patriotic, because some of them are looking at the bottom line, okay? And they're looking at a double cushioning of the bottom line. They are not even anticipating that the problem will be resolved. And I think that comment, I'm not speaking for the president, but I'm just saying that that comment might have come just to strengthen the other industries.
A lot of people would say that it didn't come out like the way that you're seeking to clarify right now. Do you think he has to apologize?
I don't think. Because I don't think this was anything that was insulting to anybody or something that was so bad.
But people feel insulted.
No, I don't think, because he was just saying that so that he will give more grease to other industries to not lay off workers, and that the situation will improve as soon as possible.
Okay.
As a president, remember, as a president, you are to comfort and you are to persuade. A president is a persuader, a comforter, and he's someone who has to say things to give us the confidence.
So in this particular context, what was he doing?
In this particular context, he wanted to talk to the other employers to be patient with the situation, and not to lay off workers, and that things will improve.
All right.
And that was what he meant. And but I know that in politics people misconstrue these things and they say all sort of things, and to the minority what they want is just an embarrassment of the president, and that is why they're coming out with this.
Yeah, you see, I sympathize with Doc, the way he's struggling this issue out, you know.
Sympathize with me.
Yes, I understand. No. But you see, let me start from here. Kufuor has no shares in GMPC. And I will sincerely...
You're not talking about GMPC.
You mentioned GMPC.
I'm talking of the oil.
But you mentioned GMPC, I beg you. So let's don't be too much to the downside of the bird. The 2009 budget.
Why don't you talk about
2009 budget was read by Dr. Kwame Dufour. Read from paragraph 405. Okay.
What is in there?
What is in there is what MPP did to add on to the generational capacity of this country.
Okay, I don't want us to dwell too much on.
No, he mentioned MPP did not add anything.
Nothing.
Oh, I've given you.
No problem.
I've given you reference because I believe in reference. I didn't quote anything read by MPP person. I'm quoting from a budget read by an NDC finance minister.
Okay.
2009 budget. Paragraph 405, read downwards.
Okay.
You will see what MPP did. You see, my senior brother is blaming ECG and VRA. Okay, that they should bear the brunt of this. The president is
I said VRA, not ECG.
Well, the president is an executive.
They generate
The
ECG
president is an executive president, for Christ's sake. Read the directive principle of state policy, and you see the responsibility given to the president as executive president. And he is in charge of this country. And therefore, when you come giving Ghanaian timelines, and the trend analysis shows that it has failed, and you could not meet that target, you don't blame anybody. You are president, for Christ's sake, the executive president of this country, for Christ's sake, that this constitution I'm holding has given you that powers.
So what are we expecting him to come and say again?
You gave the exact answer. That doesn't mean the people around him. If the people around you are giving you false information, you've come out several times. Go do the trend analysis of the promises that this president has made for this issue that we have about these power outages. Go. And several times he has failed. The promises that he has given this country has failed. The timeline that he has given has failed. What is he doing? He's the executive president, for Christ's sake. This constitution, if I read an aspect here, Article 34(2), the president shall report to Parliament at least once a year all the steps taken to ensure the realization of the policy objectives contained in this chapter, and in particular the realization of basic human rights, healthy economy, the right to work, the right to good health care, and the right to education.
So what's the relevance of
when you come to the economic objective?
President Kufuor had 8 years. What did he do?
Please, when you were talking,
I don't want us to.
No, because I don't want him to be hammering on the president.
I didn't interject.
You don't know.
You said
I
didn't interject.
So let's.
Doc, I didn't interject.
Yeah, let me moderate this.
Without humility, I didn't interject.
But I don't want to.
I'm making this point that the president is the president. He is responsible. He cannot come, or doctor cannot come defending the president that it is the managers of VRA. Because if your managers tells you, go say that this time around, the power outages will come down, we will have some more power than before. And you come to say it several times, and you are not able to meet it. Do you blame them?
Okay, so he should take full responsibility for that.
What the president, yes.
I want us to, because we have two more issues.
Okay. Now, about what the president said, that
I mean, the MPP has made its position. You want him to apologize.
Well, that is his choice to make. That is the president's choice to make, whether to apologize or not. It is his choice. But he has said it, so we'll also speak our minds.
Yeah, but Doc is saying that, you know, he's been taken out of context.
He hasn't been taken out of context. That is where Doc was struggling out with the issue. You see, does it mean that when he has sent us now in terms of the power outages, he wasn't smart?
Well, if you had contributed to
finish?
it,
let's give him.
No, don't go that way.
30 more seconds to wrap up.
VRA managers and VRA directors.
Honorable, you have 30 seconds to wrap up.
I'm saying that doesn't mean he has failed, that he wasn't smart. That after bringing us this far in these power outages, the doom so has worsened up. It's becoming doomkra. Does it mean that he isn't smart? So you see, I think that the president slided. If he accepts to apologize, that is his matter. Nobody can compel him to do that. If he does the apology, that will be fine. But if he doesn't, that is a statement he has made. And how can the president make a statement? The MPP has spoken. Other independent people are also speaking. You mentioned the commercial bodies, the business community in this country. They've all spoken. Did they say that what the president said was good? It isn't. Okay. Because
so, Doc,
blue skies. He has said
we've heard about blue skies. We've had Chocho cream, Chocho.
So it's a whole challenge. This power outages. If you want to quantify the losses, even to the extent of human life.
Okay. So let me give you.
Please, I think that the president, with all humility, at times must measure his words.
Okay.
Because
I'll give you 1 minute.
We need more comfort, not things that will rather make us unhappy, things that will rather
let us look west out, because you're supposed to give us comfort.
All right, Honorable.
And you're supposed
I'll
to
come
tell us what you are really doing to solve this problem.
All right, Honorable, I'll give you 1 minute, to give a
rebuttal.
Exactly.
The president has said it over and over that he wants to solve this problem once and for all. He doesn't want to do it like the NPP did in an ad hoc manner, where you bring in portables that are not working. And so we've gone through Parliament with about 2-3 systems in terms of energy to be able to put this to rest permanently. In the meantime, Atuabo has come on stream. Let's pray that they don't fail us. But let me tell you, they are human beings. And that's why I'm saying that whatever information they give to the president, he has to accept it. I mean, if you are not at VRA, at the same time, you are not at Atuabo, and you are a president, tell me, if they come to tell you information, will you tell them that they are lying? You only wait until the information is not true. And let me tell you,
seeing that some things have not been true, shouldn't somebody be fired for giving the wrong information?
Yes, and he has done that. Over the time, he has shifted people around, and he has even gone ahead to create a separate ministry for energy, meaning that he is very serious. And let me tell you one thing, this challenge, even is not a Ghanaian problem alone. South Africa, they've never...
And I have said over and over again that you cannot measure the South African problem with the Ghana problem.
No, South Africa...
Because even South Africa with a couple of hours...
Yes, but let me tell you, let me tell you that there is a time when a country goes through a challenge. Ghana, we are going through a challenge. Look,
but let's not compare ourselves to any other country, because our situation is unique.
Even if we don't compare, but let me tell you, he sleeps well. Apart from the energy issue in Ghana, you are living well.
You're talking about
you are eating well. No, him.
Oh, okay.
And all of us, we are living well. The security-wise, we are living well.
You didn't sleep well because you
I'm talking about the energy. In reference to the energy heat, that was I experienced. That's what I was saying. But I'm talking about, apart from the energy, tell me, what is wrong with a Ghanaian? We are not having any ethnic issues. Listen, we have no any.
I think the Ghanaian is not worried.
What is wrong? We should thank our God.
Okay, we have to move on because we have another important issue.
Just thanking. Look, there are some countries who are looking for peace.
God has provided enough for this country.
Okay,
so
we have to move on.
We're thanking
God for the
Let's make sure that we solve this problem. Let's all pray. It's a community problem.
Okay.
I think it's a long time you visited the market.
Okay, so let's move on. We have another issue.
I've been to the market.
No, Doc, it's a long time.
Honorable, we have another issue that we have to touch on. But I want us to do